Have you ever had something that you felt was so important that you needed to talk about, but you really weren't sure if you should talk about it because you're not sure how you'll be received, or if the other people that you want to talk to even value your opinion, and so maybe you keep quiet, or there's a lot going on in the background where you feel like, maybe this is not the best time for me to say something. If so, this might be exactly why you have attracted this video today. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the dojo. I am so happy you're here. We meet here live every Tuesday, and if you're not able to join us live, I'm so glad you found the video and that you're able to watch the topic, enjoy the topic with us. Last week, our topic was I am the authority. And if you were not able to join us live or you haven't yet seen the video, I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. But this week, our discussion was about speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Now, why is this important? Because there comes a moment on the awakened path where silence is no longer spiritual, where the little white lies, the ones we tell to keep the peace, avoid discomfort, or protect someone else's feelings, begin to cost us our self-respect, our energy, and our authority. In this dojo session, we explored what it really means to stand in your truth, not from force, not from proving, but from grounded awareness. Because when we don't, it can impact our ability to receive. We looked at the hidden ways we abandon ourselves through harmless omissions and polite dishonesty, why speaking your truth can feel terrifying even when you know it's time, the difference between truth telling and emotional dumping, how authority is reclaimed the moment you stop shrinking your voice, and why your voice shaking is not a sign of weakness. This isn't about being loud, it's about being clear. It's about ending the inner negotiation where you betray yourself just to be liked, chosen, or seen as easy to get along with. Let's walk through the ways truth spoken from awareness dissolves resentment, restores self-trust, and shifts your energetic field instantly. Because when you stop lying, especially to yourself, life starts responding differently. Get ready to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. That's where your power lives. I've listed 15 reasons why we don't speak up and how we tend to silence ourselves. See if you recognize yourself in any of these. Telling little white lies because you believe it's kindness, politeness, or maturity, but very often it's self-abandonment dressed up as grace. You're carrying secrets. Unspoken truths create internal pressure because what stays hidden doesn't stay neutral. It drains energy and dulls your voice. Low self-worth. When you don't believe you matter, your truth feels optional, but you're actually prioritizing the comfort of others over your own integrity. A fear of being seen or noticed. Visibility feels unsafe when you learned early on that being noticed came with consequences. Fear of rejection or abandonment. You stay quiet to remain chosen, liked, or included, even if it costs you your self-respect. Wanting to be the good girl by being nice, easy, or agreeable, but this causes you to confuse goodness with silence and strength with compliance. Avoiding conflict. You mistake peacekeeping for peace, while resentment quietly grows. Fear of being too much, too emotional, too intense, too honest. So you censor yourself into smallness. Past punishment for speaking up. If your truth was once dismissed, mocked, or punished, silence became a survival strategy. And then there's shame. You silence yourself when you believe something about you is fundamentally wrong. Fear of hurting others. You take responsibility for other people's emotions and abandon your own truth. Spiritual bypassing. You verbally beat yourself up by saying, I should be more evolved than this, because you're using spirituality to override honesty. Not trusting yourself. If you doubt your inner authority, you'll always be waiting for permission, and that will never come. Wanting control over the outcome, so you stay silent to manage how others see you because truth feels unpredictable. And then lastly on my list is habitual self-betrayal. Silence becomes automatic when it's been practiced for years. Your voice shaking isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign you're transforming from conditioning into authority. Truth doesn't require confidence. It requires willingness. Allow the voice to shake. Shaking doesn't mean something's wrong. It's simply old conditioning leaving the body. You are the authority. Authority is grounded presence, not polished delivery. Speak anyway. Let the body catch up later. As soon as you're aware of the shaking, simply name it without judging it by saying or thinking, there is awareness of shaking in this moment. Authority begins with being honest, honest seeing, not correction. This is the invitation to go quiet. This is the invitation to repeat that good girl reflex. No story, no shame, just awareness. Naming it gives you authority over it. Before speaking or not speaking, pause and ask yourself, is my silence coming from alignment or fear? Am I protecting truth or avoiding discomfort? There is never a need to be confrontational. Authority is built in small embodied moments. What do you feel comfortable saying without feeling the need to justify or explain what you say? Each micro truth rewires your nervous system. Conditioning wants approval, authority doesn't. Your truth does not require agreement, validation, immediate harmony. Release the need to be understood. Authority only requires self-loyalty. Authority gives you a massive energetic upgrade by separating truth from outcome, because it says, I can be honest and let others manage their own feelings. Reclaim your authority over your inner child. Instead of asking, what will they think of me? Ask, what does my higher self know of this? Speak your truth internally first. If your voice feels stuck externally, start by journaling the unspoken truth. Saying it out loud alone to see what the words feel like can be a tremendous undertaking, because you realize, like, whoa, this is really giving me some insight into why I've been holding this information back. Feel your words throughout your body. Truth that is honored internally gains strength externally. Stop keeping secrets because they thrive in isolation. Authority doesn't mean confession to everyone. You don't have to tell the world about your secrets. Just get in the habit of asking yourself, can I finally stop lying to myself about this? Niceness is often a form of avoidance. So free yourself by speaking clearly. Authority speaks without over-explaining or apologizing. Get to know what it feels like to anchor truth in the body. After speaking, don't rush to fix the energy. Breathe. Feel your feet. Stay present. This teaches your system truth is safe now. Silence once kept you safe, but it's time to stop using old strategies. Authority honors the past without having to live there. The version of you who was easy, quiet, low maintenance, she doesn't get to be part of you anymore. Grieving her will only resurrect her. Know the difference between truth-telling and emotional dumping. Truth-telling is clear, concise, and owned. It doesn't require fixing, rescuing, or agreement. It sounds like, this is true for me. I choose. This no longer works for me. Emotional dumping comes from activation or unprocessed charge. It seeks relief, validation, or regulation from someone else. It often includes blame, storytelling, or feelings of overwhelm. It sounds like, well, you always, I can't believe you. Let me explain everything so you understand why I'm upset. Authority knows the difference. Authority does not feel helpless. Unprocessed charge is not the emotion itself. It's emotional energy that was never fully felt, metabolized, or integrated in the body. It's what remains when an emotion was interrupted, suppressed, judged, rushed, intellectualized, or made unsafe to feel. Think of it as unfinished energy trying to figure out where it belongs. You know those times in your childhood when you were taught to speak, be seen, and not heard? That can create an emotion that is interrupted, an unprocessed emotion. Unprocessed charge is created when you felt something, but it wasn't safe to express it. You were told to be strong, get over it, or don't make a fuss. You intellectualized instead of feeling. You had to prioritize someone else's emotions over your own. You were punished, shamed, or dismissed for your feelings. Those emotions didn't disappear. They just went underground. Unprocessed charge can be recognized when your voice shakes or tightens before you speak. You feel urgency, pressure, or emotional flooding. You over-explain, justify, or rehearse conversations. You feel resentment, but say, I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm fine. Your body reacts more strongly than the moment warrants. This is why some conversations feel way bigger than they should. It's not about now. It's about then. Charge leads to emotional dumping because the nervous system wants relief, the mind wants validation, the body wants the energy to move, so we speak from the charge, not from the truth. That's when words spill out, blame sneaks in, old stories resurface. We want the other person to regulate us. This isn't wrong, it's just unfinished business. When charge is processed by speaking your truth, truth feels clean. The body stays present. Words are fewer and clearer. You don't need a specific response. You can speak and stay rooted. Charge can be processed without forcing when you slow down instead of rushing to speak. Feel the sensation without a story that includes a tight chest, heat throughout the body, or pressure. Breathe consciously until the intensity shifts. Allow instead of analyzing. No fixing, no performing, just presence. Unprocessed charge is the missing bridge for so many awakened women. Unprocessed charge affects worthiness, authority, and receiving. When emotional energy remains unprocessed, the body subtly concludes, something about me was too much. wrong, or unsafe. This causes worthiness to be something that needs to be earned instead of something to embody. Authority requires presence, and charge undermines authority. Unprocessed charge pulls us out of the now and into people-pleasing, over-explaining, defensiveness, silence, or emotional overflow. Instead of standing in your power, you revert to the conditional self who seeks safety through approval. When charge is active, you either collapse by staying quiet or shrinking, overreach by pushing, justifying, or emotionally dumping. None of these is authority. Authority lives in the middle, regulated, grounded, self-led. It's neutral. It knows. Whatever you choose to concentrate on, to put your energy towards, that's where authority is going to flow. Receiving feels unsafe with charge because love, money, support, and ease all require the nervous system to feel safe being seen and heard. Unprocessed charge signals if I'm fully seen, something bad might happen. So even when abundance arrives, we may deflect compliments, underprice our work, overgive, feel uncomfortable being supported, sabotage ease. We say we want to receive, but the body braces itself. When emotional energy is fully felt and ignited, the body no longer associates truth with danger. The nervous system relaxes into, oh, I am allowed. Worthiness shifts from concept to something felt. You won't need to convince yourself you're worthy. Your system will remember. With less charge, authority emerges naturally. Your voice steadies, even if it still shakes sometimes. You speak without needing permission. Boundaries feel clean, not harsh. You stop negotiating your truth. Authority isn't asserted, it's revealed. When worthiness is embodied and authority is present, receiving becomes inevitable. You allow support without guilt. You receive money without overworking. You stay open, and when life gives more, you don't rush to give it back. Receiving becomes a natural state, not a spiritual practice. You don't need to become more worthy to receive more. You only need to let the body feel safe being you. That's the work. That's the authority. That's the abundance. If you can't speak your truth, how are you ever going to feel worthy enough to tell the universe what you want? You don't become powerful by being louder. You become powerful by speaking your truth, even if your voice shakes, especially if your voice shakes. I put a few questions here. I'm not going to read them to you, but if this is something that you want to work on and journal, I invite you to pause the video and take a look at these. And in the meantime, let's get back to this conversation. How did all of this land on you? What are you thinking? Did you recognize yourself in any of those 15 examples that I listed? It was interesting today during our dojo conversation. One of the women was saying, oh, I can definitely see where I fall in some of those examples on the list. And it's not about outing ourselves and feeling shame or guilt or remorse or pointing fingers. It's simply about awareness. When you're aware of something, you can do something about it. When you're not aware of it, then that habitual practice just keeps going on in the background. If you would like any kind of support with this, please visit me at masteringyourbeliefs.com. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.